Federation forces.
You
some space Nazis. Oh, okay. I see you. Whatever. It's fine. All right, let's go. Hold on.
Hey, real talk. So hold on. Since we got that, I got Chris is Xeon. Jared, you're a fucking fetty.
I'm a fetty scum. Let's go.
Brian, what are you, sir?
I signed justice.
No. And this is gonna don't do this shit. Don't do that shit. In this show. When it comes to Thunderbolt, I'm not talking about any other Gundams. I'm talking about this show alone. Which side are you on?
Sir.
And don't say yes. Don't say justice. No, nigga. Where was you born and what truck did they throw you on? That's what I'm trying to ask you.
Sir, as we know, war changes people.
Don't do that. Don't give me that vague soldier poetry, nigga. Like, yo.
Are you part of the War Brotherhood?
So I'm like, so what are my options here? I have the fucking crazy ass cult. I have Child Murderer Incorporated. And I have Carbon Nigga up Inc. So I mean, people die, roll a die. What's up? Where we at?
I don't know, man. You a teacher, man. So you a fetty.
Are you trying to say that Xeon are illiterate, sir?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. See, we at Xeon. Oh yeah, that's what I am. Well, see, we are highly educated. We just don't see the need for teachers. You know, y'all have ideas and shit.
I mean,
you might teach kids like free will. We can't have that. No,
I've seen the bigger role, so I think I'm kind of checking where your math going there. I kind of trying to follow along there.
All right, Sue, where do you land on the die of science?
Nigga, do you not see the shirt? I am a mechanic.
So, Federation? I'm assuming Federation.
Benefits? Hey, look, they offer me nice benefits, so in this case, I'm a conscript.
No, technically you're Anaheim at this fucking point. You're no better than anybody.
You're on both sides of this conflict.
Notice that it does say USA Japan, so.
I do want to get my Anaheim Electronics shirt. I'm like so fucking set.
I do. Hey, look. I put one on my motherfucking car in Gran Turismo. But somebody said, for real? Yeah. Anaheim Electronics, they made this shit. Yeah, I know it's a Nissan. Shut the fuck up.
Anaheim Electronics, world profiteers are us.
But here's the funny thing.
We're not doing any genocide, sir.
Now I got a good question. Though, Sue. What would you rather work on, a Zaku or a Gundam? That's actually a good question.
I would rather work on a Zaku because you can perfect it. Gundams have plot armor, and depending on the writer, they can determine, these things are flat out indestructible until it's time for them to not be indestructible.
All right, wait. Sue, let me update that one. Would you rather work on Zaku FZ, or would you rather work on the RX-78-G from 18S Team?
That's a good one.
There is a Gundam you can actually work on.
Okay, I'm gonna go wild card. I was the mechanic that worked on Char Zaku and Char's counterattack.
Okay, I'll give that to you. Okay. Wait, did he actually pull Zaku back out in counterattack? I forgot that.
Well, not the. Okay, it wasn't the Zaku. It starts with a G. It was the.
Shit, I actually got
the Gyokuk Jaeger.
I was about to say it's probably that one, the one that Chris got. It's probably the one that Chris got.
Chris is the one you got.
Are you talking about the Sazabi?
Yes, Sazabi.
Yeah, the Sazabi.
Hey, look, and if you did,
broken ass scale mobile suit. Let's not get
that being said, Eric, since you worked on that, this is you. Nah, that shit too heavy. What the fuck you mean make it bigger?
Look. If you look at the pictures of the Sazabi, the scaling's broken. So the cockpit's in the head, and they're like, but it's just a little bit bigger than the new Gundam. The new Gundam is dumb big, but the Sazabi is like a third bigger than it.
Jared, this is why I said I would rather work on the Zaku because I can perfect it.
I'm just saying.
All right, let's go.
Do you hear this World War, Cold War Russian scientist over here? Like,
Look,
shit,
right? No, like let's be straight up. The Federation, at the end of the 1 year war went full Operation Paperclip and took all of those good Xeon scientists. So that's why I can't remember, but the Federation basically started building Mono Eyes for like a hot second until after Double Zeta, and they're just like, oh, but it works though.
I'm just saying, okay,
they rolled up. Excuse me. Would you like your war crimes, or would you let it come work for us?
There you go.
See,
You got to good at Anaheim Electronics. Go get your paycheck.
I mean, if you pick war crimes, I mean, come on, we're just going to be spending our time hunting you down.
I mean,
you pick another ever to see a Gundam Sentinel series, please, Lord Jesus, because the Gundam EXS is too fucking sexy.
You will take the Bill Fighters cameo, sir, and you will like it.
Like, yo, Chris. Hey, Chris, no
that's
bullshit.
How we got a little crossbone, too.
Hey, Chris, no bullshit. When we got into the little cockpits and the little Gundam cockpits, I thought to myself, how funny would it be if me and Chris hopped out and we had like the suits on, and I hopped out wearing the Xeon one, and you wearing the Fed one. We just started wrecking each other. We just like,
oh man, these two guys are fighting it out, Federation versus Xeon.
No. Look, niggas in the line. I gotta play this game, man. I gotta play this game. Fuck all that.
All I'm saying is this.
Oh yeah, because Chris, if I fight you and both of our mobile suits go out, we wrecking, nigga. No, open your cockpit, we wrecking, dog. We fighting at this point.
Gotta make sure. First of all, it's not me. Like, first of all, whoever, like wherever the venue is for y'all's fight, make sure it is in Antarctica.
Oh yeah. But that shit that joke's in Antarctica, sliding on the ground.
It has to be in Antarctica.
All I'm saying is Gundam Thunderbolt would have me rolling about it.
One of us run out of bullets, trying to fire each other.
Oh, dude, so we can talk about Gundam Thunderbolt. I would like to say this. You know how you make your show Get Me In? You have your lead character, E.O. Fleming, killing Xeons to jazz music, and they hear it, and they're like, oh, fuck, it's E.O. God damn it.
First of all, I just want to set the premise of Thunderbolt. First of all, Chris, thank you for introducing me to this. Holy shit. When someone said, hey, you know what I really like? I love the music to Cowboy Bebop, but I got to do a show about Gundams. Throw it in there.
Throw some J-pop in there too at the same time. Let's go.
We're gonna do some Japanese easy listening and free jazz and it's free jazz and violence.
Freestyle jazz.
Disrespect City Pop.
This is the thing that killed.
No, I love City Pop.
No. I like City Pop. City Pop is so different, though, bro.
No, Prime. I will never ever disrespect the greatness that is City Pop. Okay,
I'm
not doing that.
Hey, but here's the thing though, with the shit that killed me with the music, I always say this just because of the person I am. When I hear free jazz and it's on like an anime or something, I always do say this question: there's a brother on the motherfucking drums. There's got to be a brother.
Yes.
It's like the little scene where Bianca and EO was like playing, right? And I was thinking to myself, I was like, if you told me a white boy was on the drums, I believe it. They ain't no Japanese nigga. That's too good, man.
But no.
Wow, man, they be bad, man.
D, do not count the Japanese out, man.
Really
no, I do not. Let me make that very clear.
I will say, go watch Kids on the Slope. That will change.
Let me make that very clear. Let me make that very clear too.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me make that real quick, very, very clear. Japanese free jazz, studio jazz, they do it excellent. I mean, excellent, man. And that's not me taking away saying, oh, there's got to be it's like me seeing Steve Nash cross somebody on the court. His daddy black, shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't really mean that. I don't, because their music is beautiful. Lupin's music is the main reason why I love studio jazz. Is because of that shit. They just do it. I love it, man. And in this show, there was a couple of them that was bangers in this one though, man. Some of it was missed for me, but I liked it for the most part.
I would
say I've had EO's theme as my ringtone for like a year after the first Thunderbolt episode, but that's not here nor there.
I'll summon it for you like this, D. First of all, if the seatbelts ever came out and said, "Hey, everybody, the world is opening back up. We're having a concert," everybody on this podcast would be there.
I would.
Yeah, I would.
I'm fake. Here's me, man. I ain't going to that shit. Hey, yo, where y'all going? 7 o'clock. I can still get tickets, right? All right, I'm coming with y'all, man.
We got what was it? We got the seat belts with Yoko Kanno as our conductor. Let's fucking go.
Actually, nah. You had me at Yoko. If you just said Yoko Kanno, I'm going. Seatbelts.
I will say this, though. I gotta ask this. So the whole at least because it's split up into two. It was actually a TV show, and they just split it basically into two movies. December Sky, which is Thunderbolt season 1, and Bandit Flower, which is season 2. So December Sky. Okay, so this is weird. Maybe Prime, you and Jared can answer this. So I understand, Federation and Zeon want to protect the territory. I'm looking at the Thunderbolt sector, and I'm like, what is the point of defending this fucking mess of a fucking area? What is the benefit? I don't get it.
Please tell me. Is it the steel? Is it the fact that you can rebuild that Talk to me. What the fuck?
Now, if I'm not mistaken, in the manga, isn't it a strategic point, and it's just about what we always talk about in Gundam is shitty people with power trying to maintain power, and so basically they're throwing. It basically is the royal family throwing families at a problem that they cause.
A little bit, yeah. So the Thunderbolt sector is kind of fucked up. So side 4, if you look at like where the orbital maps and stuff are, side 4 is the most direct approach to Luna to get to the moon. So what is your most direct approach to get to the moon? So if you look at it, Zeon formed inside 3. Yes, is it 3?
3, furthest from the moon.
Yeah.
Furthest.
Yeah. Well, it's not the furthest from the moon. It's on the dark side of the moon.
It opens
so
from the furthest. Yeah. The cosmic current is furthest from the moon. That's what the open area.
It's the furthest from the Earth. Oh, because side 7 is the furthest from the moon.
Oh yeah, it's like way out there.
Yeah, side 7 is at God. I have all this up somewhere. Sorry, I came prepared, but I forgot to keep it up.
I'm looking at the map, like side 7. I'm like, who the fuck? It's like, yo, this is like the equivalent of Waldorf and the rest of PG County. It's like, what is going on?
Wow. But so side 7, if I remember right, side 7 is where our story starts with Amuro and all that stuff, and that's where the Federation was developing it because it's the furthest from the fighting. Side 3 is on the dark side of the moon, and then side 4 is on the light side of the moon. So if the Federation were to ever take over side 4, they would be able to have one direct access to Luna 1 and then direct access to Zeon. But the Federation's like, we don't want those troubles because we've basically spent the last 8 months getting our shit pushed in by Zeon, and we want to get the Earth back first. They want to take away.
They threw so many mobile suits at the Zeon in that sector. Like the snipers were having a fucking smorgasbord every single time.
At that point, the Federation had enough mobile suits because we're at December of the 1-year war. The Federation isn't really on the upswing until September. So at September, you have like the Operation Odessa to take back the headquarters of the original headquarters of the Federation in Odessa, and then you have the Battle of Jabrow, which is in October, which is Zeon trying to keep the Federation focused on maintaining their presence on Earth. With the Federation winning Odessa and Jabrow, they take that momentum to move up into space, and then to try to take Zeon's biggest strategic assets, which are then Solomon and Abawaku. And once Abawaku falls, the Zeon headquarters is down.
And I mean, they had all these and the thing of it is, it was wild to me because I kind of forgot, like at that point, the Federation, they were like, oh, we could develop a shit ton of fucking GMs. Great.
Because that's the thing. The Federation didn't have the technology for a long time in the war, but they had the industrial base. Because going into the 1-year war, the whole paradigm of military combat was it's capital ships. The person with the most capital ships will win. So the Federation outnumbered Zeon and capital ships at the beginning of Operation British, but Zeon then turned around and like, guess what we have though? We have mobile suits, and mobile suits outclass all of your ship-to-ship combat at that point because the Federation was basically what was considered the 0 generation core fighter and the Ball were the dominators of space. And if you really get down to it, the Ball as a mobile weapon itself makes sense in space until you start looking at like the AMBAC documents and all this other stuff where like mobile suits can now like generate more power, carry heavier weaponry, and be more mobile than a literal sphere with RCS in space. Also,
one cannon, that's it. That's all it gets.
Yeah, and one cannon. But that makes what's her name from the second season? Not Caroline.
Claudia? Not
Claudia. Was it Carta? No. Oh my god, I got so many names. The redhead girl. Yeah, the redhead girl. That makes her more bad because she's a ball vet. She's been in this shit for the year.
Oh, you talking about Bianca? No. Are you talking about Bianca, right? No. Bianca Carla. No.
Is it Bianca Carlisle?
No, Carla.
It's Bianca. It's Bianca.
You mean
Carla
Claudia,
is.
You mean
Claudia,
Claudia,
no, Claudia was the old leader of the Moors. No, not Claudia. Not Claudia.
Claudia's the leader.
Carla was the scientist.
And Bianca was the Aqua GM pilot.
Yeah. Aqua. What did you say your name was again? My brain is really bad.
Bianca.
Yeah,
Bianca, thank you. Bianca's badass because if you look at her tattoo sets, she has a Ball 7 tattoo from the early UC. She has survived a lot.
Let me be that guy. She can get my Ball 7.
Hey, look. She looked at EO. When EO popped up, to play out the Atlas and stuff, she was like, I'm gonna fuck that guy. It's gonna happen.
Hey, no, here's
I'm about as wet as my
Prime
GM
go in the corner.
But here's the funny thing for me though, actually.
No, I'm with him.
And no, she bad as fuck. And for me, because I didn't know that this was a continuation, that this story that's still going. You know what I mean? I didn't know that. I thought it was just these two, right? So when the second she started playing jazz, she was cute. She showed off her tattoos. Me and my wife at the same time. This bitch is dead. She's gone.
But she survived to the end of the series, though. She survived, though. She survived. If anything, she's a survivor.
Hey, D,
wow, nigga.
You called for her death when you first saw her, right? Here's me. Oh, she's getting somebody killed.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like it was going to be something because, like I said, I thought it was just the 8 episodes. That was it. They finished the whole thing. I did not know. And you know what fucked me up? When I glanced down and I saw volumes ongoing, they're still doing the manga. Oh my god!
They are.
This bitch lives, don't she? And I didn't even look at her profile either.
I haven't read it.
But we have to go back to December Sky though.
Yeah, let's go back.
Sorry to go back.
EO from Jump, right? He survives getting sniped by a GM, takes out one of the guys that's in the fucking
in the Rick Dom,
like shoots the guy and just like, hey guys, what's going on? Peg leg, I got you guys a GM, I got you guys a suit, I'm out, peace.
And I like how, and you know what, the whole setup for that scene was awesome because you see everybody going out, there, it's all good, and they get fucking obliterated. I mean, picked off one by one. They don't have a chance. And I'm thinking like, yo, Zeon already got this. This motherfucker pulls up on you. When you have a motherfucker that floats, hold on, like this nigga went miles to float to you and pull up and pop you in the face. That's
who's that or die.
Let me tell you.
Why did you open the door?
Why you open the door? That was your dumb ass.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, it's my pizza.
I think, D, let me tell you something. I don't think I've ever seen anything as like in terms of a body count as bad since Katra first experienced the Zero system.
Bruh.
I have seen like these motherfuckers like went out one by one, and I'm thinking like, wow. So Zeon went, hey man, they about to sweep this motherfucker, right? No. And at that point, he takes the Zaku too, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, don't stop his ass. He won.
Yeah. So to get back to go ahead.
Like somewhere you are hearing Shao Kahn, flawless victory.
It's like,
but to get back to like part of your question earlier.
If I was the commander, I'd be like, yeah, man, yeah.
This guy's a whole ass problem.
We got to do something about that shit. One of y'all get into that test pilot, to that test Zaku. What do you mean to make him crazy?
So to get back to one of the earlier questions, like why are they fighting so hard? So the More Brotherhood, the Federation didn't really want to take the Thunderbolt sector because they knew even if they get deep enough into it, Zeon can respond heavily because they're so close.
They're just dicks just having them in there. God damn. Wow.
So the Living Dead are literally a tripwire force. So if the Federation pushes too deep, the home fleet for Zeon can push in and take over, which happens at the end when they get alert that there's a Gundam present in the sector. What is the reason that the More Brotherhood is fighting so hard? That's their home. At the beginning of the 1 year war in January, in the 1 week war, Zeon gassed and obliterated Side 4 because they aligned with Side 4 were one of the first ones to go down. So like that flashback where you see like Io with his father that committed suicide. They're like, oh, his father let them get here. No, the Federation wasn't ready for how quickly Zeon was, because there's a joke about it in universe. It's the 3-minute warning. Zeon declares independence and then immediately goes to war 3 minutes later. And Side 4 gets the worst of it first. And they gas Side 4, they blow up Side 2, and
excuse us, they got the what now? I'm sorry, what?
To be fair, they didn't drop the colony till a week later. Right. And they took the colony on Side 2. Yeah.
Nigga, that's how slave revolution started. Like, no, seriously. Every slave revolution, that's how Haiti happened, nigga. They're like, they don't even know.
That's how Zeon framed it, though, because Zeon's like, we're under the boot of oppression from the Earth Federation forces. We will not take this anymore. That was Zeon Zoom Daikun's whole idea. That and a whole lot of stuff about the advancement of humanity that really didn't come back up until Char's counterattack. But Zeon Zoom Daikun was like, look, we are not going to take being pressed down by the Earth Federation forces. And then the zombie's like, yo, that sounds real cool, but we want to get money, though. So fuck you. And all these colonies about to get this work.
That fucking murders me. Like, y'all were free. It's like, oh, we just don't like this taxation, though. Like,
well, so they really weren't free. They were all right. To be fair, they weren't free. They didn't have any self-deterministic power. Okay. So they were very much under an authoritarian rule. The colonies existed for the enrichment of Earth, and the Earth sent like poor off the colonies.
Okay, so let me guess. They were Puerto Rico.
But
they were Puerto Rico.
As far as a lot of things, like
it's sort of like that, yeah.
As long as you turned in the resources, like it was pretty much the Wild Wild West. Like the Federation did not give that much of a fuck about the colonies.
They really
did. Of course they did.
They really did.
They really did not.
It was still really fucking bad.
Technically, you were free. It's just like, but we want that status in that name, though.
Like, what's the freedom if like you gotta obey some other niggas' rules all the way? Look, that's why we're in America.
Like turn in the resources for everybody to share. Like, but we like do whatever the fuck you want to go. It's not like they fans.
Everyone to share.
They weren't because like the fucking Belters. It wasn't that bad.
All right, no, it's not Belterwalla. It's not that bad.
I mean, I'm just laughing at the fact that
they weren't experimenting and shit on niggas.
I'm just laughing.
But that's why they're fighting so hard, because it was their home, and Zeon is living in their home, and they're like, we're gonna get this back, and that's why the More Brotherhood is going so hard at that point. The Federation's like, all right, y'all can have what y'all want because y'all are gonna pay for it. Because the Fleming family is the richest family in UC. That's kind of the buried lead there. E.O. Fleming is the son of the richest family.
He's a rich boy that doesn't like. He's a rich boy that doesn't like being rich. Like I don't like this rich shit. It's bullshit.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But that's kind of like your what universal and local settings. The Living Dead are a tripwire force. The More Brotherhood are like, we want our home back, and the Federation are like, if y'all paying, do what you want.
It's a bunch of paraplegics and people with peg legs, and they are in. Look, the Zeon ain't shit because
they're dug the fuck in.
Look. The one thing that I appreciate about Gundam is that the Zeon forces, it never gets old. They see a Gundam face and they shit a fucking brick.
The psychological warfare,
dude. And you got psychopathic fucking EO behind the fucking full armor Gundam, just murking motherfuckers without killers. I'm like, come on, man.
He does go into that list of new types that are Yeah, they were made for this shit. They're fucking murderers. They are murderers.
This is where we get really fuzzy on: is EO really a new type, or is he just a really good fucking pilot with some luck?
I don't think he's a new type. I think if we had to choose between them, I think Daryl's closer to a new type.
Daryl's closer.
I'm leaning more towards good pilot.
I think
EO is a really good pilot.
Both of them are just really, really good.
I think
both of them are really, really good.
Really
but
good machines.
I think if you would tell me to choose, I think it's Daryl. Just because when he got into the Psycho Zaku, the way he reacted and all that, he might be a new type.
I mean, me and Jared talked about this when we talked about old boy from an 8th MS team that was rocking him with his fucking goof. I was like, yeah, he was an ace pilot. You put him in behind a Gundam, he probably fucking kill people.
I was like, he would be unstoppable behind a Gundam, man. Good
this dude had a goof with the bare minimum weapons and was murking people. I was like,
man, you rolling niggas, man. Imagine, if you will, a Pontiac Sunfire outrunning a motherfucking Ferrari. That's what the fuck that is right there, man.
And that routinely happens in UC Gundam.
That always happens. It'd be somebody in a basic ass Zaku. Like, man, he only got one machine gun. We got his ass. It's 5 of us,
that
man.
Was a mistake. With old girl, she was like, yeah, it's just one goof. What's he gonna do? And I was like, Bam.
That's
Murder.
Murder.
That is a mistake, man.
Dude, but when he bust up in the full armor,
Hey, Chris. I'm sorry. Hey, Chris, you ever get your ass beat with somebody like that's a mid in Street Fighter? And like, you ever get rolled by like E Honda and you're like,
It's like,
you tight as shit.
I've seen niggas roll by Servbot and the salt in their eyes in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like, I'm sorry.
CJ, please understand something. This serves as a warning and a public service announcement. Anytime you see a goof by itself, run.
Thank you. My man examined the battlefield and was like, all right, I got 3 gun tanks, I got 4 mobile suits. It's go time.
Like, it's go time. Time to go. Like, my man, all you saw him take off. Like, you saw him take off the freaking like bomber jacket, and all you see is a wife beater, and he just says, "Time to go to work."
Bro. And the funny part was, he's like, "Oh shit, there's a gun tank right underneath me. Good times, let's go." I'm like, "Well,
I will bathe in the blood of oil." But to get at something we talked about earlier, that was Ramba Rawl's close combat teacher.
Oh wow, Jesus.
Yeah, that's who taught Ramba Rawl how to fight.
That makes perfect sense now.
I like how but you see it when just EO just to me is just a good ass pilot though, because it is kind of funny that they always falls under the new types always fall under the kind of rich kids or kind of people that was kind of close to Gundams and shit. It's like you see the spark in the eye. I don't see that with EO. I actually don't. Yeah, not at all.
No,
my man.
You don't get your not the theremin. What's the vibraphone sound with EO? Like the only like confirmed new type we have in this show so far is Bill Gingham, who was he was the and old buddy that like starts the cult. Is him, but like Bill Gingham, he's the pilot of the. You see him first at the end of December Sky, and I think it's the MSN-01 High Mobilities Psycom Zaku or some shit. Yeah. It's the white Zaku that has the Zeong arms that you see flying around and shit, and he's in.
That's not the X Zaku. He's Psycom.
Yeah.
That's a real.
That's a scary ass fucking. No, that's a scary ass fucking machine, man. No, seriously. Like you can see, like when you see like the beams come out their fingertips. That's just holy.
Like when it grabs the gem by the head and then beams the pilot in the cockpit. That's like no sir. Like bad ways to die in a Gundam series. There is that, because like if you think about it, that's how old buddy Bernie died in 0080, getting turned into hamburger in the cockpit, but you get that 5 times over by fingers. Like no sir.
Fine. That right there was nightmare fuel. When you see the hand of the opposing Gundam grab your suit. And
can't do nothing.
You can't do nothing.
That cockpit video from the Zaku, the first time that the full armor shows up, so fucking good.
just about to bring that shit up. Easily one of my top 10 sequences of all Gundam.
Bro, and it's
amazing.
It is so fucked
like
up.
A goddamn horror movie.
But that's what made it so fucked up because the general is showing them the scene of the footage and shit, and when he pauses the video and it's a full on Gundam face, and everybody's like, "Ah, shit, it's a Gundam."
It's a Gundam.
Everybody in the room like, "Oh shit, Gundam."
So I really do appreciate that. So this kind of like brings into relief a little bit more of the stuff that like they did in the original Mobile Suit Gundam manga, where the RX-78-2 wasn't the only Gundam that the Federation was deploying. There were a number of Gundam test and prototype types that were out and deployed throughout the 1-year war. If I remember, there were 7 other prototype types, and then there was. There's the Dash 3, which eventually Amuro was supposed to get, but they go for a different route in the anime. I forget what the 4 and the 5 are. There's the 6.
Hold on. That was...
Oh my god, you got the manga books? Oh yes.
I mean,
you're my hero right now.
Technically, you could say
his name's Gundam for a reason.
I mean, the thing is, technically, you could say the ground types, but they were just GMs. With
those are glorified GMs.
Yeah, those are just upgraded. The 78-Gs are, assuming the 79-Gs are upgraded GMs.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember the name of the manga, but the 4 and the 5 from the Thoroughbred campaign.
And then 6 is fighting on the other side of Odessa from where the Dash 2 is, which is the Mud Rock. And then you have the first full armor. Yeah, the first full armor, which is the Dash 7. And they fix all the issues with the full armor when they deploy it to the More Brotherhood. But if you want to know how rich the More Brotherhood is, they buy all of these Gundam prototypes because they also have gun cannons, and they have gun cannons on hand as well. And then they buy all of those gems and they buy a Gundam prototype. Like, the More Brotherhood's just like, we need money to reclaim our home.
Bro, but the one scene, even when I first saw it, it blew my mind. You see all them little kids, and they see the Gundam, and they salute it. And I think
they salute the Gundam.
Yo, EO's boy, both of them talking like, so they got kids here? Oh, shit. Oh boy, these poor kids. They are
like, we talked about it. We talked about it a bit because because I think D and I were talking about this before. Like, wow, Zeon's really like experimenting on their wounded veterans and stuff like that. Like, look, these are solving problems. We're solving problems here, people. Zeon, hey, we're running out of ace pilots, but you know what we got a lot of? We got a lot of wounded veterans. Let's figure out what we can do. You get the reuse psycho system. The Federation. You know what we got a lot of? We got a lot of war orphans that really fucking hate Zeon, but we have a lot of mobile suits. What can we do? Send our orphans to fight.
I mean, look, here's the thing. I am not shocked by this at all. It's just when because when you see the first scene of all of this, you're like, holy shit. And then I see the kids. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You're going to put those children in mobile. Oh my God, they're doing it. I don't want to be this
guy, but why do you think there are Army recruiters in high school?
No, right there, right there. When you saw the kids, that was a Federation going, modern problems require modern solutions.
I gotta be honest.
Corbin Davis got a big bonus just then. I'm just saying.
I gotta be honest with you. I'd probably be the most asshole-ish recruiter ever. Be like, hey kid, you want to pilot a Gundam? Join the Federation. This could be you.
I gotta tell you something, kids. Seeing that all. Like all the kids in the classroom, children, seeing how all of you are orphans, I can tell you up front what exactly the Federation, what exactly Zeon does. You know what the Zeon does to your mom when they killed her? They killed her. They didn't rape her, but they shot her a whole bunch of times. Whispered in their ears your names and said that they didn't love her. And she died knowing that you didn't love her. So, what are you going to do to those? What are you going to do to Zeon? We're going to fucking kill him. That's right, Timmy. Sign right here.
No. The Federation has a bunch of video of people's faces melting in gas colonies. And they're like, hey, Zeon did this to your parents. Come fight for us.
Like, no, I'm just kidding. Like, they just got hit by a shell casing in the head.
Hey, kids.
No, not the F-91. No.
Hey, yo. That's the greatest thing ever.
A shell casing the size of a center block.
I like dog, man. That motherfucking shell casing was the size of... Aside from a fucking moped, nigga.
Bro, do you know how many fucking anime music recruiting videos I would make from fucking the 1 year war up to that point? Like, dog, hey, like Amuro, see what he did to them fucking Rick Dobbs. It's dope,
you say you gonna be on social media making Amuro fan cams and shit?
Oh, nigga, so I would be the biggest fucking mark for the fucking Atlas Gundam. I be like, look at the Atlas Gundam. Yeah, man, I pilot this shit all the time. Lying my ass off.
All right, to be fair, if you want to see what that looks like, go watch 0080. So the weird thing about the timing in UC Gundam, 0080, most of it takes place before what we're seeing in December Sky. Yeah. So 0080 takes place in the first weeks of December up to Christmas of 0079. And you're watching like kids responding to the war because side 6 does not pick sides until mid-December. And that's because they get to watch the battle that happens after the white base leaves. So to see like what kids respond to the war at, that's kind of like your kids making fan cams, because like most of the kids are like, as soon as the side says, all right, nah, fuck Zeon, because Zeon are the one that are attacking us, and they're like, yeah, Zeon are the bad guys, but you got that one kid, but like I know a Zeon pilot and he's cool and he lets me sit in his mobile suit and
now he's a hamburger.
We're gonna be friends.
Now he's hamburger. Oh,
yo, you say Arby's? God damn it,
man!
Zeon, we got all the meats.
Oh man, I gotta tell you something, man. It's something about that Xeon, right, man? It's something about that Xeon meat, man. Ah man, barbecue sauce. Hey Daryl, for real, nigga, chill,
barbecue
man.
Sauce.
Look, what did other Xeon? Look,
I need that sauce, Morty. I need that sauce.
Look, what are the fair pilots? Like, hey, yo, dog, chill, man. For real, man.
Hey, CJ. Now you said you would be the messiest recruiter, right?
Yeah, I would.
You know, hold on. I'm gonna add a cherry on top of your messiness. Promise them a chance to ride in a mobile suit, and also offer them 19% interest on a Camaro.
Bro, we got your space Camaro right here.
Look. I got something for the kids, man. I got something for the kids if I'm working for Xeon, because I will be. I'm like, hey kids, watch this video and tell me if you want to play for us. Let the bodies hit the floor. And you know that now.
You just put Char blowing up the lunar fleet during the first weeks of the 1 year war. Let's go.
No. This is what you show. Let the bodies hit the and right before the yell floor, you know that big ass beam that Xeon had, and they ripped apart all of those those Fed soldiers in MS Gundam. That it was that one ship that had that huge cannon. Yeah, the solar ray. Right.
No, the solar ray was a Federation weapon.
But no, but that was the Federation.
The mirror or the colony?
That was Federation.
No, there was two.
It was a colony laser. Yeah. The colony laser was Xeon. The solar cannon was the Federation.
Oh, okay.
Was it so whoever it is, look, whatever side, doesn't matter. Just show that beam going off like every kid in that room will be like, I'm joining. Fuck them niggas.
Or you show
the solar ray was the colony laser, and then there was a second one that was the row of mirrors.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out one of them, but whatever that big ass beam, that scared the fuck out of me, man. I just thought to myself, you're done. If you're even in close to that zone, you're already finished, man.
Oh, that was one of Amuro's GOAT moments. He was like, "Don't pull the shit forward. Don't go that way. Don't go that way."
Yo, Bright had me at that point. He said, "Yo, the horrors of war, bruh. Whew. Yeah. If y'all want to drink and fuck tonight, that's what y'all should do. That's what we all should do tonight."
Your other option is showing Xeon retreating from Odessa and just like the Federation tripping over nuclear landmines. And then I will say Xeon were the first ones to break the Antarctica Treaty. So like fuck all that other bullshit talking about 0083 and the Federation building nuclear weapons.
Listen.
I think intercut with footage of Captain Xeon. You call it a day.
Look. All I'm saying is this.
The might of Axis will bring justice to all villains.
I would say this. I will give the show this. Like we talk about like both sides and stuff. I like and appreciate like you kind of sort of are rooting for Daryl to get revenge for his teammates getting killed low key because you're like I want to see Daryl beat EO just because he needs.
I want to see the rude guy beat the rich asshole.
Like
yeah.
They both have valid reasons for being there.
So it's like you kind of want to see it. So like the fact that their fight ends in a stalemate, it's like that's perfect. That's a perfect cap off for this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, can I just say?
And also the one thing.
Twice.
Oh, yeah, won the magical lightning twice. The one thing they didn't really explain: the guy that EO kills in the Dom is the Living Dead unit commander. So EO kills the commander, which puts what's his name, Daryl in the position next because Daryl was the XL.
Carla's boyfriend.
Yep.
And Carla's boyfriend.
I mean, look. That was the same thing with EO because remember EO when they thought he died, his commanding officer of that group got killed too. So it was like, yeah, EO, you kind of got beefed up to it. I'm like,
this point, it's World War I and Vietnam rules. The most veteran living person is the leader. So EO is the most veteran living pilot. Carla was the most elite living member of the Moore Brotherhood. So she's now the leader.
I just laugh just at the fact that Claudia begrudgingly, and I know her and EO have a history. I just like how she begrudgingly.
That's mild.
I know that's putting it mild, but I just laugh at like they're like just that EO clearly knows she does not like him, but he's just like, that's cool. You still got to talk to me. So.
Look, do you want to know how jazz this show is, to borrow parlance from Soul? This show is like so ingrained in jazz culture. We got people shooting up meth in the back room before sets.
Bro, I wanted to bring that up. I'm like,
I was waiting. I was like, how do we play Claudia
took it up? Like, son, Claudia took that hit and it was a wrap. You turn off the gravity machine and just float.
Free falling. Oh, that's it, man.
It's so great. It's so
free falling while tripping. Let's go.
I mean, let's be real. Think about it. Look where they're at. Wouldn't you kind of like take some drugs too to just ease your mind? Like
she said,
every time she's guilty as fuck. She's like, look, I'm not a commander. I'm leading these motherfuckers to death. I mean,
yes,
she said, I see why your father committed suicide. I'm like, God damn.
To my face, bitch. Really? To my face, bitch. Really?
My salad.
I'm not even mad. Like, cause you like, look, your dad chose like the easy way out. I'm still fucking here.
Let's be real.
Like, you know how many hits I've injected myself with, and I'm still here.
And I mean, EO was such an ace pilot. He's the only thing keeping her sanity because he's like, well, fuck it. At least he's killing people. We're winning, I guess. All right, fine. It's like
so. And to put it into context, so like, oh my God, not Claudia is like, look, I have to order people to her death. EO's father saw the eradication of 2 of the colonies in his side. Each of those colonies is a 10-kilometer long, 6-kilometer wide tube with over 10 million people. EO's father saw the death of nearly 20 or 30 million of his own people and was like, I can't come back from this.
I mean, and the thing of it is, it was crazy too because like with Claudia, she got shot by Graham. Now, to Graham's credit, I kind of see why he shot her.
But I'm not mad at Graham. I don't blame him for what he did.
I'm not mad at him for that. I ain't mad at him for that shit.
What's the fucking line he has in the
movie? Colonel Kovic Gaddafi says, "Eat the rich," and Claudia is the richest motherfucker in the room right now.
I mean, exactly.
And the thing of it is, like when he shot her, I was like, "Hey, Graham, did you double tap?" Because I mean, I'm just saying, like,
because we got questions by the time we get to Bandit Flower.
I mean, you kind of really don't.
Gundam's favorite friend, oxygen deprivation.
In my opinion, you really do not need to worry about double tapping because not only did he shoot her, you notice that gunshot also took out the window, so everybody's going outside for a little space ride.
Yeah,
I don't know if the gunshot took out the window or the other explosions around the beehive took out the window because the beehive had just got fucked by Daryl at that point.
But here's the thing but still, the vacuum of space was supposed to do at least 40% of the job for you. So I don't.
We all see that Amro's dad's still alive, and Amro's dad is still alive and creating upgrade modules for the Gundam. So
I like how that nigga is literally. I like how that motherfucker is literally in the corner taking shits in a fucking bucket and then building Gundam models out of it. I love that. That's what he's doing right
Amuro
now.
was like, "Oh, that's cool,
Amuro
Dad."
like, "Damn, Dad,
that's cool." So I'm gonna go back to white base now. You be good now.
Hey, yo,
you do what you gotta do.
You do you, Dad. I'll come back and visit at Christmas.
Hey, yo, Dad, real talk. I know it's been hard between us.
Which one's sadder? Amuro's relationship with his father or Amuro's relationship with his mother?
His fucking mom. His fucking mom.
Disown him.
Because check this shit out. At least Amuro did this before he left. Look at this. At least at the end, but when Amuro left his dad, hey, yo, Pops. Look, man, here's $40, Pop. Get like a pizza or something, man.
You be cool, right?
His mom was like, "You kill?" His mom was like, "You kill? Get the fuck out of my face!
Get the fuck out of here!
Murderer! You murderer! You mama!
Actually, don't remind me of the people that shit.
You were my first apartment, Mom.
Oh, dude, you know what it reminded me of? That shit from Jason's lyric when he rolled up there and cooked the food, and his mom was like, "This is drug money. Get the shit out of here."
Basically.
We talking about Gundam and Jason lyric. What the fuck?
Immediately proceeds to scrape the food into the trash.
Oh, you was not fucking lying, man.
Yo, she sniffed blood and was like, "You kill people? Get out of my face!" I'm like, "It's warm, Mom. No, get out!" I'm like,
Mom,
friends, goddamn it.
Mom, everybody's shooting though. Why you get mad at me?
Amuro, if everybody jump off the bridge, would you do it too?
Make it better, D. Amuro's mom is Artie Piscano's mom from Casino. Says, when do you shoot people like that? Ma, it's war. It's what I'm supposed to do. Like, no. I don't like that. I don't like the way you shot that guy.
I'm doing this for the Federation, Mom. I'm doing this for the Federation.
Like,
I'm doing this for the Federation. I'm gonna shoot somebody in the fucking head for you. Mom, sorry that I said fucking. All right? But I gotta fucking kill somebody, you know? That's what you gotta fucking do. Mom, again, I'm sorry for saying the F word.
The one time
Colonel Kobe Gaddafi is like, but his mom is right. Look, his mom may be right morally, but from a utilitarian standpoint, if Amuro doesn't fight, white base goes down and everyone from side 7 dies.
And in that moment, if that dude had moved that sheet and saw that Federation uniform, he was gonna shoot Amuro. So
yeah, he was gonna shoot Amuro, shoot his mom, and blow that town up with a dot. Like that's
you knew what the fuck. Like,
I'm not saying it's more action. We just pointing out it is what it is. That was what's gonna happen. So
I mean, yo, Mom, you need to.
There's a moral standpoint and a utilitarian standpoint, and Amuro's like hard on that utilitarian side of these ethics right now.
What was wild was like, okay, so EO goes the second round against them and stuff, and Daryl manages to kind of get out of it and stuff, right? And I like at this point, this is the
act of God and anime magic,
bro.
Yeah.
At this point, Zeon, they're already fed up that this full armor Gundam is wrecking their shit, and it was like, so can you speed up that process for that Psycho Zaku? Yeah, but we're gonna have to take his arm. Do it.
He already lost one of them. Fuck him.
Thank you. Basically, he's like,
JJ is in the grand narrative of fictional people named JJ being assholes. JJ in this show, no, we need to live because like he's like, I'm here with the science division, and they said the science division goes down with the goddamn ship, and I am not for that.
I'm not about that life.
He's like, you go ahead, but hey, look. To his credit, though, I did appreciate he was like, "Hey, look, you know." Daryl's like, "Look, if this is gonna save my friends, go ahead and cut it off. Fuck it. I'm already 3/4 of the way there. You might as well go
in for a penny, and for the full pound, baby. Let's go."
I'm just saying, man. Look, come on, man. Finish me, baby.
And to be fair, Colonel Gaddafi, like Amuro does end up defecting by UC 87 with the anti-Earth Union group, but they're also anti the Federation and anti-Zeon.
Let's be real,
but that's entirely different.
By the time you got the Double Zeta, it was a 3-way fight, and it was just like really the anti everybody
was just triple entente in that. Oh god,
it was so many triple crosses, and I see why fucking Char was like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. I'm done.
Yeah, like the Zabi family in the war that they're fighting is not a moral one for the colonies anymore. The moral and ethics of Zeon Sun Daikun were betrayed by the Zabis.
I mean,
I'm trying to figure out what the pinpoint
was. Zeon are not the good guys at this point. Nah.
Or was it when Garen killed his father? When did it stop being about my principles.
I know.
My ideals.
My resolution.
Look, the Zabi family was there for the grift. The Zabi family was there for like, we're getting all this money off of this war. We are the backers of the MSN makers of the Zaku. The Zabis were getting paid. Like, if there's anything close to like a true bad guy in the Gundam universe, one, the Zabis are pretty high up there, and then there's Anaheim Electronics, but. Specifically into what's going on with Anaheim is like, we want to build shit and make money.
Anaheim is literally like the faceless people until you get to Stardust Memories and we get old girl that developed those Gundams, and I'm like, so you just develop a Gundam with nukes. You're part of the problem, ma'am.
And your fucking 80s really start like, hey, Nina, quick question. But you realize the Antarctic Treaty is still a thing, right?
Yeah.
Hey, the Antarctic Treaty says you can't use nuclear weapons. It doesn't say it's about developing them.
We couldn't build them. I mean,
we don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. We ain't making no nukes.
Zeon made the MSN Goliath, which was a nuclear-capable mobile suit, not minding they didn't have nuclear weapons. They said, hey, we'll just get them from the Federation somehow.
Like, wait, that thing can carry nuclear weapons? No, it doesn't carry. It houses them, okay? All right? It just houses them, all right?
Well, what's that there?
I mean, maybe,
here.
I'm just saying maybe.
I'm sorry, what?
Look, maybe you can, you know what? Yeah, theoretically, yes. There's an easy to plug in system on the back of that thing that you can actually make a propulsion system out of it. I mean, yeah, we have been working years and years upon it, and actually perfecting that technology. But it's not there right now. It's
the technology. All right, to be fair, the technology in the GPO2 is pretty fucking dope. But we'll do this whenever we talk about Stardust Memory. But like specifically in like Thunderbolt, with them developing like the science division to test like all of these new ideas and stuff like that to be put onto the battlefield to solve Zeon's troop availability issues by the time you're in the late 1 year war. Like after Makuve escaped with the resources from Odysseus, like Zeon can fight on 10 more years. Zeon wasn't going to make it 2 more months.
I'm sorry. Was that too loud? I'm sorry.
Yo. I'm sorry, yo. I'm still laughing. Makuve really just looked at Romero, was like, damn, dog, you need some new suits? Could be me.
Look, what I gotta tell you is we got you want new suits? We got these mobile armors though. We trying to kill this Gundam.
You got my base? You got my base though. It's all good.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Yo, real talk. Once Daryl literally locked in to that Psycho Gundam, I was like, well, he's about ready to wreck house right now. And that fight between him and Io was actually pretty dope. The fact that it spanned the whole goddamn colony, and I was like, yo, they fucking up the whole goddamn colony. Like, it ain't gonna be nothing left after this.
Yo.
So if you look carefully, you see parts of that colony in episodes leading up to that. So because that's the colony that the air race happens in that Claudia flashes back to. So like it's Io fighting literally in his home territory, and he puts the Psycho Zaku through it, but the Psycho Zaku is just better armed than the full armor Gundam.
Bro,
and
all the pieces on it is ridiculous. I'm like, bro, like, look, there's a reason why I haven't got that gunpla, because I'm like, there's too many goddamn pieces, and that should look heavy as fuck.
And the ass on that thing, man. Do you see that?
So that's actually an interesting thing. So like one of the reasons that like a lot of people say like Thunderbolt isn't really canon is because like, oh, the technology is like too advanced. Excuse me. If you look at like the technology that they're showing on all these mobile suits, it's really just Hajime Katoki going in and saying, all right, all of these suits, in order to properly exist within the MBEC system, have to have RCS at all of these points around it. And like we just are going to draw it in now, because in the 70s, we didn't have the budget to draw it in. So like it's just like filling in the gaps. And
I mean, technically, if you look at Origin, they added a freaking
Origin does it.
The Origin does
as well.
Origin does it too, because they put a rail cannon on the RX-78-2, and I was like, that wasn't on the original version. Where did they get a rail cannon? All right,
I gotta go back and watch Origin because I haven't got that far in it. So that's
yeah. The RX-78-2 literally has like an actual shoulder rail cannon. And I'm like, When did that happen? Whatever. It looks nice. It looks nice.
If you was wondering, I'm drinking Bullet Bourbon now because I've ran out of Toki Suntory whiskey.
Dude, but no, after that fight, they capture EO, and at this point, it's right at the peak of the whole thing. Was it Odessa?
Baku. It was at Baku.
It was right at the peak of that happening and stuff, and the tide was shifting the Federation's way. And I like how they were just beating the shit out of EO, and I was like, you kind of earned that, EO. You did kind of kill the guys.
Yeah. Like, and if you really think about it, like the image of the Living Dead, and it shows a little bit more when you get into Bandit Flower. The Living Dead has done what no one has done before. They beat a Gundam. They beat a Gundam and captured his pilot, and that is.
I'm sorry, and they lived to say they did.
Thank you.
They lived to say they did it, and to like go with like what Amuro's nickname is by the end of the 1 Year War, which is my favorite name to call him, the White Devil. They captured the other devil of the battlefield. So we're gonna teach these devils a lesson and beat the shit out of E.O. Fleming for all of the Zeon soldiers that have died at the hand of a Gundam. And like that's why the Living Dead are such a legend when you go into Bandit Flower.
I mean, and just the fact,
greatest name ever,
and it's just the fact that the tide of that war turning, and all of a sudden that gives EO and them the opening to escape. I was like, that's perfect.
Oh,
that's perfect.
Butt naked shooting space Nazis. What more could you ask for?
You right, man.
Who's been reading my live journal? How did they know How did they?
Who's reading the next issue of Wolfenstein Space Legion?
Who's been reading my life? Who's reading my fan fictions?
Bro, my man opened up that jail cell, saw his boy, and his boy looking at him like, "You okay, yo? You butt naked, man. You guys need some clothes? Is it cool?
You got a tissue? I'm dirty."
I just like how Daryl floated in that joint. He's like, "Damn, man. So you the bitch ass nigga playing all that jazz. EO.
Yeah.
Peg legs. Oh shit.
I want to a couple like you. God damn.
Well, let me see. 1, 2, 3. You missing all of them limbs. 2 questions. Number 1, fuck you. Number 2, will you jerk off? When you jerk off, right at that point, Daryl should be fighting him.
Daryl's the
most.
First of all, don't you kink shame Daryl, sir.
All right. To flashback. Real quick. The moment Carla lost her mind, do you blame her?
I don't.
No, I don't. Not one
don't blame her.
second.
Don't blame her because
so fucking bad.
And if you rewind the scene,
you blame her because war. I mean, you don't blame her because war is hell.
Bro.
If you rewind the scene, right when the beam saber hit, you can see the moment she snapped.
Yeah.
Hey, look. To be honest,
that hurt.
To be honest with you,
I think she snapped the second the vacuum took her up. The second the vacuum took her up, she like, oh my god, this is happening. This is how I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. And you see that big ass giant hand? Yeah, she was already shitting herself. She was already shitting herself.
That suit is nasty.
I thought a scene that was supposed to be serious but low key funny in a way was when Carla saw her boyfriend dead, and the rest of the soldiers are looking up like, the fuck she crying for? And somebody was like, dude, that's her boyfriend. Like, come on, dog.
Yeah. So, and what is it? Because Daryl talks about it, like he played to be a playboy, and so no one really knew he had like an individual girlfriend, but it was like kind of a open, not so open secret. But no, like Carla's like, I'm in love with this man, and they killed him. It was like made her like Carla was in it first because she's trying to save her father from basically the gulags of Zeon.
Yep. And they throw that shit in her face too, like, hey, you will cooperate, your dad ain't gonna come out of jail. So you know that, right?
Oh, you mean that shit? What about your daddy though?
That shit goes back in the second season.
Shut the fuck
up.
Like
she started studying prosthetics so she could try to make her dad's prosthetics better. And then the second season she holds Daryl's hand and now he's Papa.
Yeah,
like
not in the way that Daryl wanted,
not in the way Daryl wanted, but no. Carla is so fucking bad. Oh my god, that hurts so bad.
It did hurt, and that did hurt. But at the same, like I said, Daryl was like, that should have been my moment right there. But no, No. God, why would you do that? Why would you do that, God?
That's probably why that Daryl wants to kill EO so bad. You stole this from me.
Like, oh my God.
I don't even know who you are.
Like, how do you hey, EO, I got a question, man. The girl of your dreams calls you daddy, but she don't even know who you are. Woo! You know how that feels? Do you know what level of blue balls is that? Here's EO. I thought they took them shits too, motherfucker.
Oh my God. Yo, but I like the fact that, look, Bandit Flower, I like the fact that the Federation looked at EO like, you lost our Gundam, so we're gonna have to bust your ass down and rank because of that shit. I'm like, how the fuck is it his fault? Like, what's he gonna do? Fucking like blow up the Gundam? Like, come on, dog.
Man, because
did he bust him out? I thought he was still an ensign. Sorry, I thought he was still an ensign.
I thought they busted him. Okay, I thought they busted him down.
At that point, he was.
Wait, he was captain when he got the FA, then he was an ensign when he got the Atlas.
Okay. No, he was still an ensign when he got the FA.
Okay.
Yeah.
He may have been promoted in situ, but he never got like a full unit promotion.
Okay, all right. But
he got a promotion to captain some war orphans, and then they're like, "You ain't got no orphans no more here, motherfucker."
No, but
we're after
no
the war.
Orphans, no promotion.
I mean, let's be real.
This ain't the Spartan 3 program no more. We got full soldiers now.
Hey, let's be real.
We're not giving you no more kids. Can at least have 4 of them. Fine, 7 of them.
I do appreciate that the other Federation soldiers do still hold that shit over EO. Like he used orphans he used like orphans and kids as shields. And it's like I didn't pick them.
I didn't choose the reinforcements. God damn it!
No, I didn't choose the kids. I didn't choose the kids. The kids chose me. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Y'all the motherfuckers that played bombs over Baghdad while showing footage of us killing motherfuckers. I didn't do that shit. Y'all did.
Also, the fact that these kids training was simulation and the Zeon soldier was like, these kids can't shoot for shit. All right, target practice. Bip.
That's just bad. Look, Prime, you said that. Oh, yo, Prime. I remember you said that shit, but I don't know which Gundam series you said that. It might have been MS. I forgot which one you said. He said, no, bad leadership is how these motherfuckers lose. Like, shit like that. Like, you purposely let children who can't fucking pass a level of Call of Duty out on the goddamn field.
Bro,
they knew nothing of teamwork. That's the shitty part about it. Because the one kid was like, "Hey guys, we gotta stay together. We can't." Everybody's like, "No, fuck you. I'm going solo." And I'm like, "That's not."
Hey,
they got their shit back together to kill the suits that were coming after them. It just took them a second to get their coordination back together when like battle really hit. You gotta let weed out the bad guys.
Hey, y'all remember that first episode of Young Justice where motherfucking Robin just dipped out of their ass and they were just clueless?
Bro. Like, why didn't you do this? Robin, you have to talk to people.
Man, when I'm with Batman, I ain't gotta do this shit. Man, y'all some bitches, man.
Get on my level. Fuck.
All right.
It's like, Robin, you killed him. No, I didn't. I just knocked him out. Shut up.
All right. So we were talking about, we were just getting into Bandit Flower. What's it? Bill Gingham, I think his name is, was saying like it was talking about smoking. Like smoking's bad for you and bad for the environment. And the first thing I thought about, and like his response was like, it's a big earth, a little pollution won't hurt. And I'm like, see, this is why Char hates all of humanity. And that's why Char wants to kill everyone on Earth.
I'm like, he's right. He's right. But I'm thinking to myself, they are in Gundams, and I'm thinking that can't be good for the fucking atmosphere or anything like that. There's got to be pumping pollution up into the air, some type of.
Wait, you talking about Gundams? Nah, Gundams are actually pretty clean. Like it's a nuclear fusion reactor. We're good. This is it. Wait, hold on. This isn't 00 where the Human Reform League has mobile suits that are running on diesel generators and just dumping black smoke anytime they move.
Hold on. Wait a minute. This is during what year again? I thought this was during 0079.
So Bandit Flower, we're finally in 0080. So Bandit Flower is 8 months after the Battle of Abaku.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, at that point, you're right. But still, man, this is
Double O is still funny because they look at gas like, ew, what the fuck is gas? Like, why are we using gas? No, hell no. It's like,
like we're by the time we even get to like the universal century switchover, we have nuclear fusion. That's the whole purpose of the purpose of Minovsky particle radiation, other than being a general battlefield jammer where it blocks all forms of radio waves, is it's a nuclear fusion assister. I can't remember the word I'm looking for, but it helps the reactors on mobile suits and ships be more efficient. So as a byproduct of that, you also just jam all the radio waves, so it makes battlefield communication a nightmare for your enemies. So fuck it, let's go. Let's just dump Minovsky radiation into the battlefield. Not mentioning it causes giant lightning strikes and all these other issues all around. But hey, it's cool.
I mean, look. I mean, I did like the relationship between Billy and Daryl, because Billy was the first person that was like, I think Daryl, I think you're a new type. I can't tell. You might be. I don't know. I can't really call it, but he's the one that's kind of like taking a liking to him. So I'm like, are we going to get a very gay relationship here? I mean, this can happen.
I'm sorry. I was ready for you to say very gay relationship.
We are 50% there. He has the swoop.
I mean, I'm just saying. I was like,
he has the swoop. He has the Yowie swoop. Fuck yes, Prime Gundam, you are my man. I appreciate you so much.
I'm just saying, I'm just waiting for them to have a new type, like the La shit, where they just both in new type space, butt ass naked, looking at each other with eyes and shit. I'm just saying.
That moment he was like, when he was watching Daryl, and that Akai go up that ridge, and he came and was like, okay, now I help you, and he's like, you were watching me? Oh yes, I was.
Yes, I was.
So to tell you where my mind is, Billy looks like Uriel from Yuri on Ice, and I was like, oh yeah, Yuri too is sitting there watching Daryl fight for his life to see if he's actually a new type, to see if he can survive, and I was like, oh yeah, this nigga just trying to see who's gonna be top or bottom when this shit goes down in the end.
That's all it really was.
So Daryl, what other attachments do you have for those arms? I'm just asking for a friend.
So Daryl, what else do you do?
Got motherfucking Sade playing in the background. This is no ordinary love.
You already know what? Like, when he saw, the moment he saw everything, he just said, bottom it is.
Oh, man. Yo, you know who's like really like the one that was actually interesting? So Monica. I like the fact that we find out that she actually was the one that actually secured the fucking incompleted Xeons for her own use. I was like, oh, that was dope. You actually, you got something going on.
That is for sure a really interesting point, because like up to this point, it was always assumed, because the next time you see the Federation do anything with any sort of like Psycommu system or anything like that isn't until Char's counter. Well, maybe a little bit in Zeta, but it's not until Char's counterattack. Because the Federation never really had a strong Psycommu understanding. It was always Anaheim Electronics. And
of course.
Why do that shit internally when you can contract? But the Federation and eventually Anaheim capturing all the Psycommu systems in the Xeon was always like an assumed thing, but seeing it animated in Thunderbolt Bandit Flower was actually really interesting. I also really appreciate the updates that they did to the gun tank design, because the gun tank also having a troop transport capacity in the 4-track design is really cool, because it looks a lot like the Lotto.
I always assumed that the gun tank could do that from jump anyway, though.
So you see the gun tank prototypes in Gundam Origins Char.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's a different design, but it still has like all the main components of a gun tank. Okay. But in this like new gun tank design, like all that space in the bottom is where the reactor was. So if you look at like the development history of the Gundam program, the gun tank's the first one. It's before they miniaturized the nuclear reactor that eventually powers the Gundam and the gun cannon. And then it's the gun cannon, which has like all the armor, and like, oh, we have the extra cannon now, which is also probably where the railgun version of the Gundam comes from, because I think the one in origin is the 78-1.
Yeah.
And then you finally get to the -2, which is what's supposed to be your closer to mass production suit, which leads to your gyms and basically every other mobile suit that the Federation ever deploys. Unless you count all the ones that are basically ripoffs of the Zaku. But that's neither here nor there, and not talking about Operation Paperclip on the Federation side.
But I mean, the whole thing with Monica though, when she realizes, because we end up finding out in Bandit Flower, there's a third group of people called the South Seas Alliance, and it's headed by her. It's headed by Levin, who is like one of her former children that they were experimenting on in the lab. And it's a new type kid, and as Jared pointed out in the pre-show, he formed a little bit of a Buddhist new type cult. With the Psycho Gundam, with the Psycho Zaku chilling in the back. I'm like, okay, all right, interesting.
So this is another thing where it touches on like a number of interesting things within like the Universal Century. So to compare Gundam and 0079 with a number of its like contemporaries, you have like stuff like Macross, where in the background of Macross, and you see it in Macross 0, you have a unification war, which occurs to bring everyone under the banner of the UN, the United Nations, and the UN Spacey eventually, after the founding of the SDF-1 Macross. The Earth Federation forces, or the Earth Federation, is not a monolith. The Earth Federation exists as a group of blocks of power that are all represented within the Earth Federation itself. So, but notably, the colonies don't get a voting stake in the Earth Federation. Nope. So taxation without representation. But the South Seas Alliance was a political bloc within the Earth Federation, which was basically Oceania. So it's like your Philippines, your not really Japan, because Japan's part of its own bloc as usual.
Operation British pretty much fucked them up pretty bad.
Yeah, because Australia, while not like an official member of the South Seas Alliance, it was a good friend to them, and with the remains of Australia after Operation British, they are now part of the South Seas Alliance. So the South Seas Alliance are like, no, you guys fucked us up. We don't want to be part of the Earth Federation anymore. We're autonomous now. So they don't really start instituting their airspace over what I believe is Indonesia, because at the beginning of the series, the Spartan is dropping down into what used to be Sydney to meet up with the supply ships in order to get the Gundam Atlas. Also, small note on this, as I go through other UC stuff, I'm like more and more convinced that the white base is the worst version of the Pegasus assault ship, because the Gray Phantom in 0080 and the fucking Spartan in this all look better than the white base. And I think it might just be the 0079 animation, but the white base is just ugly as shit. And I just don't like.
I mean, at some point they probably do. It might be the animation and stuff, but I mean, hey, look, I mean, it's to be fair. I mean, it would look basic as hell in the grand scheme.
I would say, like, to get a little ahead on like what we're going to talk about for Bandit Flower, like the whole deployable sections of the launch decks, I was like, oh, that's dumb. But when I see like how they use it, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Like I've come around to like how that shit works, like the G armors do for the other Gundam parts. So like, oh, the G armor is dumb, and like I watch how they deploy the G armor in the show. Okay, that kind of makes sense. It's still dumb, but it's cool.
But the thing that got me though, that had me rolling, was like EO when he got the Atlas Gundam. He's up to the same antics and stuff. That dude has the luck of the Irish, because his ass should have drowned underneath the water. He should have been dead.
Bro, EO was like, oh, I'm going to use these beam sabers to get out of here. Oh, that's not good enough? Well, I guess I'm dead now. And then Bianca comes through. I got you, buddy.
Should have been like, so
I
Bianca,
got you, mate.
How hard do you want your dick sucked? I mean, I'm just asking.
Exactly.
Bianca dove down to the bottom of the ocean. I ain't losing that dick. Y'all got rhythm? Come on, nigga. Come on.
I mean, I was like, bro, when he did that, because I'm like, you said he goes underwater to kill this guy, and I'm like, yo, so EO, you just gonna get reckless? All right, cool, I guess. I mean, sure. You know, I mean, the Atlas. You know what? I'll say this. I like the design of the Atlas Gundam. The fact that it has a little sled is pretty nifty.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. sure. I was just thinking about like Bianca when she saves EO for that moment. Like, so who's getting their ass eat first, EO or Bianca?
You know what? I thought the same
I mean,
thing.
turn that is fair play. So EO.
Yeah.
Open the mouth. Come on.
Got to.
I don't know. EO,
Just dropping yeast in that mouth.
I don't know, man. The way they both are built, they're just gonna have sex as soon as the door closed. So it don't matter. I think it's like as soon as the door closed,
Nookie that breaks the bed. Like maintenance, we need to repair.
You ever look at when two people fight in a cartoon, it's just a dust cloud. It's like that, but fucking for them.
Excuse me, I'm familiar with Ghislaine from Mushoku Tensei. Come on, please.
I have a question.
CJ, the fact you get that, I know you Susio as shit, bro.
I have a question for Jared.
All right.
What's up?
That suicide bombing that was delayed.
All right, which one are we talking about? Are we talking about
the one where my man was like, Zeke, it's not working. It's not working. Like, what's going on?
Back in fucking December Sky. Yo, that was sad as shit. Like,
it's like I can't die. It sucks.
My ideas won't let me die like this.
I was looking at my man like, yo, son, this is what happens when you are denied the Miles Dyson death.
You get shit. You get nothing. Oof. I mean, it's just I think that's what kind of got me with Bandit Flower is that knowing that it ends and even reading some of the manga before the site that I was reading it is like got shut down and stuff. It was just the fact that at the end of the day, this was all a ploy to basically kill Anaheim Electronics because basically Fu was like, you guys been instigating this fucking war. You got to go. And I'm like, I don't know if that's going to stop it, but it might delay it significantly though. Just saying.
I don't know, man. You gotta think about it. Anaheim is the main thing that's keeping the war going.
Yeah, I mean,
sort of yeah, and sort of no at this point because like Anaheim is looking at Zeon like until y'all let y'all checks clear from the last war, y'all don't get anything. and turning around like. Federation, we sold you a mobile suit, and you know what you're going to want to do in a little bit? You like the RX-78. How about we start developing some new ones for you?
I'm just saying.
Who's going to reimburse me for my $500? What about my $500? I asked for a mobile suit, and you couldn't even give me that. Like, I asked for a mobile suit that's supposed to get us through 3 wars. You only got me through 1.5.
Let me tell you something, dog.
Where's my electric car, Bruce?
Let me tell you something. Historically, when checks bounce during war, that ain't a good thing. So you get what you pay for, motherfucker. Like,
so to give you the real world, to give you the real world analog to Anaheim Electronics, there is a company called Krupp. You may be familiar with them because they probably built an elevator that you've written on. Krupp started off as an iron producer in Germany, in Austria. And the two things they were good at were building railroads and guns. Krupp were the first people to build build steel cannons. They built the Paris gun for the Germans in World War I. Wow. Every gun on a Panzer through World War II was a Krupp cannon. Krupp throughout World War I or in the lead up to World War I were threatening everyone. You guys know like how good these guns are we sell you? We're selling better ones to the Swiss, or we're selling better ones to the Germans. We're selling better ones to the French. Anaheim Electronics throughout UC. We're selling better weapons to Xeon. We're selling better weapons to AU. We're selling better weapons to Federation. To Char, hey, isn't Amuro falling a little bit behind? Don't you want us to help him out a little bit by giving him the Psycho system for the new Gundam? Yeah, funnels would be cool to fight against.
Bruh. Prime. I'm mad at Prime.
Like, hold on, Jared, you are not lying. Like I've got on an elevator, and it was a Tyson Krupp.
Yep, Tyson Krupp is the modern Krupp company. It's not Krupp company. Sorry, this is not Lil Jon and the East Side Boys.
I mean, I was just laughing.
Hey, Gerald. I'm about to sit and read up on these motherfuckers.
So if you want to,
I'm reading.
If you want a quick one, there's a Behind the Bastards on the patriarch of the Krupp family. Go listen to it. It's really good. But yes, yeah, that's your way to go.
I mean,
that's your real
all this shit. I love shit like this. I'm about to read this. Anyway, go ahead.
You're welcome.
I mean, it's just wild. It's just wild to me because it's just like, I think Prime had mentioned it. We were talking before about how like, so you just gave Analam Electronics, low key the schematics for this thing to help out Amuro. That's
right. To be fair, that was Char being like, I want to fight Amuro on equal footing. Yeah, like throughout Zay, yeah, that was pride, not really Anaheim being shady.
I was like, why? No, okay, all right, cool, but like, it's just the development of all their weapons and stuff. It's just interesting. But the funny thing is, South Sea Alliance, they basically were like, we'll just take all your fucking mobile suits that you guys abandoned during the war and just kind of repurpose it for ourselves.
Yeah, that's a big thing that a lot of the blocks of the Earth Federation did in the convening months after the 1 year war. They had wrecked mobile suits from both sides, and either they took them themselves and built local produced ones, like you see with, I believe it's the SRF 6 Dolly, which is sort of like your GM one. It's the suit you see that has the bandit flower emblem on the chest that's fighting the Gox throughout the main part of Bandit Flower. But a lot of them take those. The Xeon remnants on Earth take and refurbish a lot of those suits. You don't see those come back up until the Battle of Torrington and Unicorn. Honestly, one of my favorite scenes in all of Gundam. Please, whenever we do Unicorn, please, Jesus, there is so much. But specifically on Bandit Flower, like the South Seas Alliance, like reliance on locally refurbished or upgraded mobile suits from all the other factions is something that everyone around the world is doing, because like the Earth Federation is on the edge of crumbling already. Up until the Delaz conflict, between the political strife that we're seeing here in Bandit Flower and the ultimate breaking point in the Lost conflict, that's why the Titans come around, because the Earth Federation can't pay to maintain its own security anymore. They have to pay an outside special organization, the Titans, or excuse me, to say it showed us, the Tetons, have to come in and protect like the security and stability of the Federation.
I mean, yeah. I also like the fact that JJ decided, hey, I'm gonna switch sides. I'm on the South Seas, and hey guys, you want a mobile suit? I can develop a mobile suit for you guys. We can do this, right? All right, cool.
Look, JJ heard that new type magic voice in his mind for the first time and said, "Ooh, I like this."
Ooh. Did somebody say war crimes?
Yes, war crimes. I love this. Let's do this.
I get to be I get to be messy.
Yes,
sign me up.
I found a cult of people willing to sacrifice their physical shells in order for greater enlightenment inside of a mobile suit. Please say less.
I mean, we already knew that he ain't shit, because when that shit was going down at the end of December Sky, he was like, you know what, time for me to get the fuck up out of here. Where's the escape pod? All right, let's go.
Yo, when he shoved that dude to the side, it was like,
he was like, yo, let me you get the stretcher into the escape pod. Mine.
No, not today, buddy. Now somebody's family is wondering why his husband didn't come back, and it's like, yeah, JJ, you need his ass out into space, man. Sorry. Don't know what to tell you, man.
Thunderbolt second round, bro.
Yo, I'm sorry. Like, I'm really looking. So I haven't looked at the SRF one, the mobile suit that's made by the South Seas Alliance really well. It's really cool to look at if you like start breaking down the individual parts of it. It basically has the legs of a Zaku with the upper body of a GM and the head of a GM. It's from a shade tree mechanic standpoint, that's pretty fucking cool.
It is the most. This suit design is literally the most ridiculous. Like, dear God, like it is like a hodgepodge. Like, hey, you like this? All right, cool. Take a look at it. And it's like, this is like if I try,
it's like I got a bunch of parts of a bunch of shit laying around here because maybe some conflict with a giant flying mobile armor happened in one of our islands, 8th MS team. And we got a bunch of shit laying around.
It looks like, what if I kit bash some shit for myself? And it's like, all right, here you go. Here's a kit bash of a GM. Sure, fine. Do whatever you want. I mean, actually, hold up.
It's the coolest thing built by a religious cult since Waco.
There you go, right there.
I'm sorry.
Glad you like that one, D.
So here's the thing. I think it is kind of, but I think it is kind of cool. You have somebody that's trying to rule through a gun. I think it's hilarious, but hey, man, he got followers.
I mean,
yeah, I really do want to read the manga now because the cliffhanger that Bandit Flower leaves off on, I don't know a whole lot more beyond that. I have very intense pockets of knowledge of UC, but not a whole lot else.
All I know is like they literally, in order to really fight him and stuff, that's when Daryl ends up picking up the perfect RX-78-2 because it was basically pieces of the pieces of the Psycho Zaku from the previous fight, and then basically wanted to make it look like the RX-78-2 basically and stuff. And that was what I last saw before the site shut down. I'm like, fuck, I can't finish this.
Yeah, I'm
if I can find it, I'll hook you up. All right,
if you can find it and stuff. But yeah, it's
I might got a guy. It's cool.
I'm just mad. I'm just totally mad that they really just sat there and was like, yeah, we'll do the next part of Thunderbolt, but COVID, and also we got to really finish these other shows. So you're kind of SOL on that one. I was like, come on.
I guess like to get through like sort of some of the other things in Thunderbolt that are pretty notable. Let's see. I talked about like my disdain. Then like, okay, the deployable hanger blocks are kind of cool. So it's interesting to look at like some of the style choices that were made. So if you look at the animation style and the character design that you see during December Sky, and then looking at what you see during Bandit Flower,
changes up pretty significantly.
Yeah, it's a pretty big departure. Like you see the December Sky tries to stay really close to the manga style, which is like a lot more hard-edged, a lot grittier look. And then you can really see that by the time that you get to December Sky, the main Bandai animation studios that were working on UC 93 Unicorn have now come in, and like a lot of the mecha animation, a lot of the character design has been cleaned up, and you lose a lot of those like hard black line reliefs and stuff like that. But Bandit Flower is admittedly less of a gritty story than Thunderbolt initially was.
It's very lighthearted a little bit, even though there's obviously guerrilla warfare on Earth and stuff, but it's like, yeah, it's less like hard edge, like, oh man, it's so depressing, and it's like, no, it's just regular war.
Yeah. And I can't remember if we were talking about when the show started or not, but so Bandit Flower is the first time that we see animated sort of the Universal Centuries takes on religion inside the animation. So if we go back to the manga, Unicorn Gundam, which does technically take place after but was written before this, gets into a little bit more of like how religious factions see the Earth Federation forces, where I believe what's the person's name? I lost it in my chats right now, but there's a big Islamic extremist faction that's at play within Unicorn Gundam, but it's left out of the animation kind of to streamline the story. But sort of how new type space magic bullshit lines in with Buddhism is kind of directly at the heart of the religious cult. Oh, it makes a lot of sense.
It makes so much sense, though. I mean, because think about it like this. You think about it in the sense of you already are trying. Everybody is already trying to figure out what new types are, right? So at this point, if you believe in God or any other religion and you hear about new types, it fucks your head up because it's like, is there a God? I mean, because these new types are doing some godlike stuff right now. What's
every
going on?
new types can connect empathically with everyone and every living thing. But at this point, like, you really don't have a strong understanding for like what new types are, even up until the point of like Char's counterattack in 93. So we're like 13 years on and they're still trying to really get a good understanding for what new types are. And this is like on top of the Federation making a bunch of cyber fucking new types. Shout out to Please 1 through 12 and all of your horrible lives.
Cyber new
and
oof. Yeah.
Look, same here, Colonel Gaddafi, but there's a lot of stuff in here that's like really interesting fodder for story that Universal Century, like, it gets lost over in the animation, but the mangas do a really good job of kind of diving in to the various authors' views.
And the thing of it is, like, with cyber new types, it already felt like that was already a bad idea because now
1,000% yes.
Yeah, because now you're adding in biotech stuff into it. Organ transplants, just
that's like really all the bad ideas they wanted to go into. Again, I'll save like talking like my rant about cyber new types. One, made in Georgia. Look into it. Augusta New Type Labs, the best thing to come out of Atlanta since voter suppression.
But I'm just saying, but just the aspect of new types, period. I can imagine if that shit, if this was real, if it happened, if we actually had real new types actually happen today, motherfuckers would lose their mind. They wouldn't know how to like feel now because it's like my perception of religion is warped now. It's gone, done.
Yeah, it's, and especially like with the powers that how do you say his name? 11. Yeah. Is it really 11? That 11 shows being able to like to directly reach out and influence and touch his followers, like it when it connects to like the Buddhist faith, it really starts playing like weird head tricks with people, especially like with people that think they should be dead or have like all of these weird guilts associated with the last war. Looking at JJ, looking at Claudia, it gives them an out and a way to like reach new levels of consciousness and to reach exceptionalism that they're just like they're not ready to go into. So all that said, I'm excited to never be able to see the third part of Thunderbolt animated. I patiently await the third release of the Hathaway movie, and I expect to see the third part of Thunderbolt animated after I see Gundam Crossbone finally laid to animation.
Oh, they actually finally going to do that?
Oh, fuck no.
I'm about to say, I was like, yo, don't
do you not know? Like, anytime I say I expect to see this done after Crossbone gets animated, that's me saying I'm never seeing this in my lifetime.
I was like,
enjoy that Bill Fighters cameo.
I mean, hey, look,
like, you will get anything you love in Gundam, you will get your Build Fighters cameo, and you will like it.
Dude, they put their whole foot in on full cloth Crossbone and was like, oh shit, you like Crossbone? Boom, there you go, and then that was it.
There was a reason why his shit wasn't modified. It was just for the Crossbone people.
Look, I have a Build Fighters Crossbone in my basement. I think I'm going to do that one for October because I want to do something spooky with that build. But
I'm actually happy I got D and DJ Sue to catch it because when I told him about it and D saw the one scene with EO playing jazz, he's like, dude, I just saw the fucking clip of dude killing another guy and jazz music was playing. I was like, yep, there you go.
As I say, Gundam Thunderbolt is violence and jazz.
That was literally all I needed. Like the moment I heard the jazz music, I'm like, oh, I'm about to sit down, like pour me up a glass of wine and enjoy the carnage.
And the thing is, imagine watching this.
It's a quick watch too, so it's really good.
I mean, the thing is, like I watched it when they first showed the episodes weekly, right? And then they put out that movie December Sky, and it was the added scene of someone, EO, and them escaping. And I actually watched it, and I was like, watching it week by week, there was a pressing thing of like, oh man, what's going to happen next episode? What's going to happen next episode and stuff like that. Same with Bandit Flower, and it did like the ending for Bandit Flower. It was like, oh, and then that's when I had to seek out the manga and stuff. But it was just like, man, this is like pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
But,
to be fair, I missed Bandit Flower when it released week by week. I don't remember what the hell I was doing. I was probabably like becoming an adult
official,
or some dumb shit
like
that.
The official Gundam channel, Sunrise Bandai channel was showing literally like
Gundam info.
Yeah, Gundam info.
If you don't follow Gundam info and you like Gundam, go follow it. It's your best resource. I think they have.
I think they had the Gundam Wing Blu-ray released, like the updated version of it.
They have that. They're also probably doing. I think they said they were doing Stardust Memory in the coming weeks.
All right, they still got Seed and Seed Destiny. If you choose to watch those shows, you can if you want. That's fine. Which ironic enough, when you mentioned the whole thing with the Antarctica Treaty, I was like, I find it funny that Gundam Seed just violated the Antarctica Treaty 15 times over, just without willy-nilly.
Well, they had jammers, so they had
yeah. So to the point of in Gundam Seed, the Antarctica Treaty never happens. The colonies basically respond by okay, we're going to launch jammers all over the world, so we just can't do nuclear war.
But the fact that Athra's dad actually had 2 mobile suits that were made from nukes, pure nukes, not even nuclear fission, just pure nukes. And everybody's like,
we developed the jammer canceller to make this shit fucking work.
We're going to make this shit work. And I was like, oh boy. Hey, Athra, you might want to talk to your dad there, buddy.
Gundam Seed tried to do so much. Gundam Seed wanted to be the 1 year war, Zeta and Double Zeta, all in one series.
Well, see, that's why I don't have a much. See, I'm a Gundam Seed apologist because I feel like if you look at Gundam Seed at the time it came out as a modern contemporary retelling of the original Mobile Suit Gundam, I think
to be fair,
it succeeded in that.
I'm a Gundam Seed apologist. I'm a Gundam Seed Destiny hater.
Gundam Seed Destiny, you fine for the first 12 episodes when you're trying to be Zeta Gundam, but once Kira comes back as Captain Jesus, then we got some problems.
Again, I told Jared
motherfucking Jesus Yamato. Let's go, son.
I told Jared this though. At the very least, even if you don't like Seed of Destiny, I'm like, this is the best show that has the best mobile suit designs, period, bar none. I'm like, yo.
In some places. That's
subjective.
The mobile Gin is kind of a piece of shit.
All right, fair. That's fair.
They really do it's the 20. It's like the whatever anniversary of Gundam. We're bringing back the Zaku Warrior 1000.
I'm gonna say they immediately sidetracked a lot of the Zaf suits for the Xeon inspired designs in Destiny.
Zaft, we're not Xeon.
Which hurts me because I think the Guaze is a really good suit.
It's not bad. I would say, hey, Zaft, it's Xeon with less Nazi imagery.
Meanwhile, Orb is like, meanwhile, Orb is like,
hey, more Axis energy there with Zaft.
Meanwhile, Orb is like, I mean, we like Gundams over here, so you like Gundams? Come over here,
Yeah.
We'll give you a Wyndham. You like Wyndham? You like transforming things, right? Here you go.
you like the Zeta? You like the Zeta Plus? We got transforming mobile suits too.
We got them in purple and red and green. It's great.
Except they're smaller and more compact because it's the future. And listen, boys and girls, it's an important thing to remember from Seed. Good people don't let people build mobile suits that run on battery power. It's just don't do it.
Battery power.
Did Anno not teach you fuckers anything?
The Earth Alliance was really looking stupid. Like, I can only be in this fight for an hour, so I'm gonna fuck you up, Kira. And powers down. Fuck.
All right. So to be fair, if you look at deployment times on the mobile suits in the manga for the UC, mobile suit can only be deployed for about 15 to 30 minutes before it burns through its propellants. So Char is like, I'm in this fight for 10 hot minutes because Char is like, I'm 3 times faster than anyone else. My fuel consumption is also 20 minutes higher.
And Hose 3 times as mad.
Yeah. Oh, Hose is 3 times as mad.
Hey, same with Kuve. Kuve had the most. Before we go, I didn't mention this in the episode that we did it at. I just like that Kuve, literally his suit functions as a fencer suit. I'm like, that is the most dumbest fucking design. Your suit just functions as close combat, not even just a fence. And I'm like, what is that going to do for armor?
It is the Gyan is a close combat specialized Royal Guard suit. It was meant to be special issue to the Royal Guard of Zeon because Makuve is an Azabi. So Makuve was one of the key supporters of the Zabi family. So Makuve got the Royal Guard suit.
It's just like I like how Charles looked at him like, all right.
As a fan of the Gyan from motherfucking Build Fighters, because Gyanko is life. Because I'm a man of class.
Oh man! But
so
seriously,
Makuve. So how much corn did you find in Casilia's ass today?
I do believe that information is for me and me only.
Oh God! So I'll end this with this. Like I did what like any sensible person would do when I was told like, hey. There's going to be a discussion about Gundam Thunderbolt. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and watch everything from Gundam 0079 from the Battle of Odessa up to the end of the 1 Year War and try to piece everything in timeline. So I have watched about 20 episodes of Gundam 0079. I've watched all of 0080. I watched 8th MS Team so I could see the outcome of the Battle of Odessa played out from the Eastern Front. And then I finally watched Thunderbolt in the last few days. So I did some research.
I'm just saying, like I gotta wonder though. They get the full armor Gundam. That was the first time I actually saw a Gundam. It's like it has 4 big ass shields. It has so much armament, and I'm like, this is a fully stacked Gundam, and yet I couldn't see Amuro actually piloting in that suit.
The RX-78 FA was not developed for Amuro. Like that's one of those things.
Out that they say that the Alex was developed for Amuro, and I'm like, have you motherfuckers observed Amuro fighting? Has anyone in the Federation watched an Amuro battle? Anyone at all?
So the 2 stages of the Alex were meant for Amuro. One, to get into battle, because Amuro at full speed isn't dodging particularly well. So it's meant to take the hits to get through the initial barrage and then strip the Chobham armor and then get down to the base Alex and then fight. Like that was the core idea of the Gundam Alex NT1. And like a lot of the development ideas you see in the NT1 are further recycled into other mobile suits going forward. The NT1 was the first suit to have the 360-degree pilot system that you see recycled throughout Zeta, Double Zeta, and eventually into Char's counterattack and everything else. Because they're like, oh, it doesn't make sense that we have this advanced camera system and not be able to stitch a full picture together. Let's see. The Chobham armor and the beam resistant stuff you see come in. The magnetic coating on the joints and the Alex does make it onto the RX-78-2, but that's only in place of the -3. I think it's the G3 update that he normally gets in the manga. So, yeah, it gets a little weird and complicated as we go through.
Yeah. So, but that is Gundam Thunderbolt. This was fun.
Gundam Thunderbolt plus extras.
Plus extras. Deep dive. The pettiness on both sides. The drama. The new types questioning your religion. Yeah. Just say it. Just say it. I'm just saying. Think about it. Can you imagine?
I just like that you said questioning your religion.
Just say a new type just rolls up into a fucking black ass church and they're like, "What the fuck is this guy here? He's a new type."
The new type think about a new type walking into a church. You've seen people catch the Holy Spirit before. Everyone in the church feels everything everyone else is feeling. That's a new level.
And in that moment, everybody finds out that Sister Jenkins can't cook pie for shit. It's like, yeah, you do. You fucking do the whole time. Oh man.
Yeah.
Bitch stay lying the motherfucking testimony. Knew she had no type of Jesus in her.
Look, y'all all about to see what Jesus looked like today, and that Jesus looks like a Saikuzaku.
Fucking TD Jake sitting up there wilding out because he can't even figure out why it's damn.
Man, imagine TD Jakes on top of a goof preaching.
No. That doesn't have enough mass. We got a TD Jakes on top of an all black Rick Dom.
Oh, yeah, bruh. I feel Rick Dom.
I just have this feeling that Epstein's would be like a tall geese, but like more elaborate for no fucking reason. You know what I mean? Like they got
you mean like the Zaku's? You mean like the Zaku's that you see at the beginning of Bandit Flower, the Royal Guard Zaku's that are inside of Baoku that have like all the gold trim and filigree and shit like that? Because the Zaku's aren't good for that.
It's like it has like it looks like it has shit that doesn't add to the robot at all. You know what I mean? It looks like it doesn't. It looks like it's heavier than it should be for that fucking for that.
You mean a Phoenix? A Phoenix?
Wasn't that Zaku? Wasn't that Dozel Zaku because he wasn't deployed because he was in the big Zom?
Yeah. That was Dozel. That was like what Dozel Zaku was supposed to be.
Hey, Epstein, like Jeffrey Epstein, they're attacking us. Why don't you use that big ass mobile suit? Well, the Lord said I couldn't.
Which again, that's another really detail that I like about Thunderbolt because it showed at the end of the desperation when they're coming up toward the end of the war. It's every resource that we had on tap is on deck. Let's go.
Yeah.
If a Baoku falls, we fall. So we had anything that can walk, that can shoot, is being deployed. Let's go.
I don't mean.
Like I said, that's why the reuse psycho system was being developed. We have a bunch of wounded warriors.
Look, all I'll say is, I'll go ahead, D.
And the only thing I would add, I'm not trying to extend the conversation any longer, but the one thing I would like to add though, I like how when we talk about the battles that happen and all the rest of that, and how like both sides are strategically trying to hold that place for a reason, this, that, or the other, and it does look like they're just throwing bodies out there. It reminds me of when I finally actually learned about the wars, about the Civil War, and about all these big battles that went on. And who was it? I think it was Grant. When they said all the battles that he won down in like Mississippi and Arkansas, and I'm thinking to myself, there had to be thousands of people just running out to the middle of the field just to get hit. I'm sorry. How long did they hold that position? For months. Months, there had to be thousands of bodies. And I'm thinking about it in the same sense of that. Just like you said, it's just a strip of lightning. A strip of constant lightning. And we was like, nah, we need that spot. Yep. And at the end of the day, it's not really like that big of a deal. It's just so somebody can flex. Look what I did. Look how I held this spot. It's made for higher up to look good.
That's a really important thing to realize also, like that big push you see at the end of Thunderbolt, that was the diversionary tactic. The Federation knew that Zeon's headquarters was at a Baoku. The Federation also wanted Zeon to think they were sending a big force to conquer the Zeon homeland at the same time. And the fastest route to the Zeon homeland was through Side 4. So they reinforced the more Brotherhood forces with a bunch of fresh recruits just to put bodies on the field to draw fire away from a Baoku as the main Federation push crashed into a Baoku. So you were seeing, especially in Thunderbolt, you're seeing the diversionary fight at Side 4 to draw more Zeon forces. And you saw it worked because Zeon sent the home fleet to try to back up the living dead because a Gundam's on the field. There are a bunch of fresh bodies. We're about to fall. The road to Zeon is about to open up.
I mean, if you want to talk,
that's how war is, bro. That is exactly how. And you would see that's how it is with the Civil War. Even with them doing that, like, well, that's going on. What about up the river? That's just a diversionary thing, so they can get through up the river and shit like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's amazing, bro.
I mean, you want to talk pointless suits though? Lacus Klein's pink Zaku suit that had no goddamn weapons on it. I was like, so what happens if something pops off? Is that suit even?
Oh, we saw what happened.
No, Lacus's suit was just a propaganda piece. You know what was more pointless than Lacus? What was Big Titty Lacus's name?
The girl.
Mir. That had the look. P Bandai released a scale model of Mir and her victory tour Zaku. I want that shit so bad I cannot describe it. But I also don't want to have big titty Lacus in my house because reasons.
Yo, imagine if I mean we talk about propaganda and stuff. That was like probably the most fucked up propaganda. Imagine if you will, somebody root you and is like, hey, do you want to be Lacus Klein? Yeah, I don't look like her. Hey, how about you get plastic surgery?
You get surgery.
It's a plastic surgery. Now you look like her.
Yo, anyway, so next thing we doing, next time you hear about us doing anything Gundam related, it will be that time Zeon was like, alright, bet, yeah, tell everybody in Sydney to look the fuck out. That's the next thing that we're doing. That is Stardust Memory.
Okay.
Fuck the
I thought with it.
Fuck the wallabies.
I'm gonna give you a preview. Oh, I'm gonna give you a preview of Stardust Memory. I fucks with the first half. The second half, that direction changed.
No.
I would say Stardust Memory does have my favorite AMV because someone did a different ways AMV to Stardust Memory. That shit goes way too hard than it even deserves to.
I mean, the only thing I would just say is, hey guys, so Anaheim, GPO3, what the fuck were you thinking with that? What were you thinking with that?
They woke up that morning and chose violence.
Wait, are you talking about the 2? Are you talking about the 2 or the 3?
Oh, the 3 that goes
the Dendrobium and
it's a pure we chose violence move. It's a pure we chose. Oh my god, we're gonna get in that in August. But the next episode y'all gonna hear from 3 Black Geeks will be Lupin, Castle of Cagliostro. It's our first Lupin episode, and it's our first Miyazaki film. So that shit's gonna be fun as a motherfucker. We'll see all of y'all next week.
Bet people didn't see that. You thought it was Spirited Away, didn't you? Nope.
Yeah, it was gonna be Spirited Away.
Legit question for y'all Lupin watchers. Have y'all seen the best Lupin series? And have you seen Mine no Fujiko, the woman named Fujiko?
Oh, the woman named... Yes,
I haven't.
Jared, listen. I have seen all of them.
Yes.
Look, DJ, please tell me why the woman named Fujiko is the best Lupin series.
Art style alone wins.
There you go.
Bro, it's an acid trip all the fucking way through.
It is.
I'll wait till we're done. Look. You learned all the dirt about everyone. I'm gonna leave y'all on this. Jigen got ED, y'all.